both with GOA. I've been seeing here in Florida, both with GOA and prior to me joining GOA, the biggest issue is gun owner apathy. Gun owners are just politically apathetic. So we need to get people politically active on the grassroots level and in Tallahassee. So that means getting your members first and foremost educated on what's going on legislatively with how we have a Republican supermajority that does constantly kill pro-gun legislation. Getting them involved on the local level to go to your district offices for elected officials, even if they're registered as Libertarian Party members, it doesn't matter. They need to get politically involved if they have a Republican or Democratic lawmaker representing them. And the third thing is we need to get them to Tallahassee. So there needs to be a concise, organized method of doing that. And one of the things that I'm trying to do statewide is build a Second Amendment coalition or group or whatever the hell you want to call it, where different like-minded organizations where we could all sit together and we could discuss to have a unified plan of attack on lawmakers, and more importantly, be able to have a unified voice and project a unified front together.
Okay. So, so you need more activists at the local level. You need our folks to go to the district offices.
Yeah. So if, I'm just going to pull a rabbit out of my hat, but let's say you have people that live in Tallahassee and they're represented by, not Dennis Baxley. Oh, I can't remember my own senator's name right now, but let's say folks live in my district up in Tallahassee, but they don't want to get politically active because their state senator is a Democrat. They still need to get active. They still need to go to his local office and they need to go to the Tallahassee. They need to go to the Capitol, and that goes statewide. It doesn't matter if you're a Libertarian, if you're a Republican, if you're a Democrat, or if you're not party affiliated. The biggest issue is that the Republican leadership as a whole takes silence as approval. So if they don't hear a peep from gun owners across the political spectrum, they're going to continue going the route they're doing. And that's, I've been told that by multiple elected officials, most recently by Senator Dennis Baxley. So with what you guys could do is you guys already have a natural grassroots layout. You guys already have your district offices or your county level organizations. You have your state level organization. You have your chain of command. You have your chain of communication. You have a way to push information. You have a way to get people active. So what GOA needs from your end is that we need bodies. We need people that are politically motivated and willing to do things local or willing to go to the Capitol.
Okay, so like this would be something, it would be best if we can push the LP county affiliates to get active, to add those guys into it as well. Very
much so. I think that would be a great thing to do. And another thing that on GOA that we're looking for is we're looking for people that could be regional coordinators for GOA. It would be a volunteer position, but it's for folks that are Second Amendment activists and that would be willing to proselytize for GOA and help spread GOA's word, because a big issue here politically in terms of gun rights lobbying is forever this was the NRA's playground. If you don't know the internal politics of the NRA, Marion Hammer is the registered lobbyist for the NRA here in Florida, and she was their former president. And she has run Florida as her own private playground. She has tried to stomp any other gun rights group from having any political say in the Capitol. And the biggest thing is, and I don't try to disparage the NRA, our internal policy is we don't talk bad about other gun rights organizations. But when it comes to Marion Hammer, she has publicly defended Republicans that have killed pro-gun legislation. And worse, she has openly backed gun control. Mind you, she is the NRA's lobbyist. So in GOA, our goal is we're not trying to push her to the curb. It's just You know, NRA wants to do their stuff, fine, great. Hey, you know, they could spend their political capital on whatever the hell they want to do. We want to build a solid core of people here in Florida, and we are willing and fine with working and networking. We don't have it's not our playground, it's everyone's. You know, we're all Floridians, no matter what our political affiliation is, no matter what group we're a member of. So our goal in GOA is to simply advance the cause. And as I said at your state convention, I have no problem working with the LP. I've reached out to the RLC. I just met with the Republican National Hispanic Assembly. I'm reaching out to everyone that is pro Second Amendment. So you guys, of course, are crucial in this, because I know a lot of folks in the Libertarian Party are definitely pro Second Amendment. I mean, my God, you know, without a Second Amendment, you can't do anything else.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So some other groups I'm thinking of that might be very interested in getting active would be like prepper groups, and you know, you probably already go out to gun shows and stuff. Looks like Tim has something to say, so let's have him talk.
Yeah, I just figured that was the easiest way to do it. I don't want to interrupt anybody. No, so let me ask about this too. So you say you're working to form these coalitions and these groups to strategize, and that just makes me think like, okay, how can we best use our resources effectively? Like, we just don't want to show up at some random person's district office. We want to affect the people who are making the decisions, the people who are standing in the way, the people who are stopping the bills from going through or voting them down, and when they should be voting them up. You know, how can we work with you to you know, like I said, effectively use those resources?
Well, at the present moment, legislatively, this past session's over, and as for who's going to chair what committee this coming session, I don't have that information yet. I've been talking with Representative Sabatini. He did flat out say he's going to reintroduce constitutional carry again, and I'm trying to find out. The problem is that 80% of the political power in the legislature is controlled by the Senate President and the House Speaker, because they determine what bills go to what committee, even if they have to go to a committee, and then on top of that, who's going to chair the committee and who's going to staff the committee. And I don't have that information available to me right now. So if you guys could find that out, that'd be great. That'd be one fantastic thing. But to get on to your question right now, the biggest thing, if we cannot organize to do things at a district level yet, what we can start setting in motion now is to organize for what we call GOLD, a gun owners lobby day, or multiple GOLD events at the Capitol. So we can have a unified front and a unified voice in that. And the goal of a GOLD event is that we would literally swarm the Capitol and we would hit as many offices as possible. So if, let's say, between this grand coalition we build, we're able to get, I'm just going to, you know, we get 100 people that are willing to show up between the LP and the RLC and Florida Carry and GOA members, because I understand going to Tallahassee is a pain in the ass. It's, you know, if you live in South Florida, it's 8 to 6 hours away. But if we could get 100, 150 people to show up, we could split those groups up, because we'll all have the same talking points. We'll all have the same political goal of, okay, we want to push this bill. We want to push this idea of legislation forward. And we could easily split up into smaller groups so we could hit the Capitol at once and literally swarm the office. And I see someone here, we can invite policymakers and staffer to lunch or a mixed group of five, setting up appointments with them. Yeah, that's a great thing, of course. Is there a one-stop location that tracks the money that is going to influence legislators? There is a public database. The Division of Elections, they do have a public database that's searchable for who gets what money, but it gets extremely clouded and murky because a lot of it is from one political action committee to another. And from there, you have to find out who's running those PACs. And a lot of elected officials run PACs, like when prior State Senate President Bill Galvano, during the 2018-2020 period, he got $500,000 from Michael Bloomberg and his Everytown and Moms Demand Action. And he pocketed that, and then he dispersed it amongst other Republicans. He dispersed it